Hey there, I'm Elizabeth Henson. Welcome to the Messy Success Podcast, where I'm helping creative dreamers and overachievers tackle business and life. After 6 years of being my own boss, I finally unraveled a tiny bit of what it takes to survive in this amazing world of being an overly creative entrepreneur. I'm your business bestie, here to help you with all those big ideas and to normalize some of the day-to-day struggles that we all share. My mission is simple. I want more women to make a living doing what they love and to feel good about themselves in the process. The best way to start? We can't do it alone. So welcome. I hope you'll hang out with me here where it's totally okay to be messy. All right. Hey, party people. Welcome to another episode of the Messy Success Podcast. Elizabeth, your host here. I am so excited. I have a very special guest today. You guys, this is one of my star students, Kate Stiles. She did photography mentoring with me. I think maybe about 2 years ago. It was right after her daughter Emily was born. And then she did the Ultimate Year Workshop with me, not this year, but the year before. She is in my signature entry-level program, which is Shine the Light Society. And she did Shine Elite, which is my elite group coaching program, not once, but twice. It's an 8-week program, and she did 2 rounds of it. So she has really been working with me in every capacity possible. Her results, her growth have been incredible. I mean, when she first came to me, she was, just getting back into photography, trying to book more weddings. She was very unsure of what she wanted her style to be, what she wanted to specialize in, what she wanted her colors to look like. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And, she's very ambitious, very, very ambitious. There are not a lot of women out there that can keep up with my pace. I don't want to say with my success because that looks different for all of us. And you guys know the truth that I am kind of a mess and I'm really a hardcore creative dreamer. And some things work for me, some things don't. I love sharing it all with you guys, but Kate is so ambitious. She just speaks my language. She shows up and she does the work. So while I'm sitting here telling you that she's one of my students and, of course I'm like, I want to take all the credit, but no, like she shows up. Every time I sign on to Instagram, she is right there. She's in her stories. She's talking to her people. And one thing that Kate does so beautifully is she really shares the journey. And you guys know that that's something that I talk a lot about that helped me grow my photography business so fast in the beginning, was that I just shared a journey of imperfection. I said, hey guys, I'm picking up my camera. Look what I'm doing. I got a blurry background. I got sun flare for the first time. And I just shared it all. And that's exactly what Kate does. When she built her studio, she's sharing it behind the scenes. When she first started practicing with artificial lighting, she's showing the growth. And I cannot tell you guys enough how important that is to build trust with your audience, to show them that you are an imperfect student who is learning. And that does not change your ability to completely be an authority, to have paying clients. People really get invested in your growth and in the journey. And I feel like that is what has really separated Kate, is that she's willing to show up and be like, I am learning this and this process is crazy. I don't know what's going to happen, but this is what I'm doing. And it's so captivating. And she's really an incredible photographer and lifelong learner. And she just speaks my language. So I'm going to go ahead and play that interview for you guys. I hope that you love it. You can always find Kate at katestilesphotography.com. So she's going to tell you more about that too. But thank you for being here and let's get it started. All right, Kate, how are you? I'm so excited to have you on today. I cannot wait for the listeners to get to meet you. We have known each other for such a long time now, and I've gotten to see your business grow, like I feel like from the ground up. But why don't you go ahead and tell everyone who you are, what you do, and like how you got started?
Oh my gosh, girl. I am so excited to be on here. I know we've known each other for like a good 2 years now, like solid. And it's just been amazing. So I am actually a photographer based in Richmond, Virginia. And I actually have a thriving women's glamour beauty. I usually shoot boudoir. I also do weddings, but my main income is from boudoir, and I absolutely love what I do. It's amazing.
Oh my goodness. So, when I first met you, I feel like you had done photography in the past and then you took a break or something, right?
I did, yeah. So I had done photography as kind of like a side hustle for years. I'm talking since like my freshman year of college while I was working full time. And then things kind of changed in my life. And it was kind of like, all right, Kate, it's now or never. And we decided to jump in full force and go full time with my business. And it was the best thing I ever did.
I love that. Like, and I know a lot of my listeners like really are interested in like making more revenue or going full time or whatever that looks like, quitting their day job, or maybe they're stay-at-home moms and they want to make more money. So you were home with your kids and like you kind of had to make a choice, right? Like I'm either going to do this business or not.
Yeah, exactly. So I had already had my son, and I was working part time, and I was still doing my photography, working part time, being a stay at home mom part time. And it was crazy. And I finally just decided I need to put all of my eggs in one basket and just focus on what I love to do. My part time job was just getting too stressful, and it was really just time to put my energy forth into my business because I knew that's what I loved. It was going to make my home life less stressful. And so now, 2 years later, I am a full time stay at home mom and I am also a full time photographer. It is incredible.
It's so amazing. I just remember like you kind of came out of the woodworks and you were like, I'm here. And your social media presence like literally never slowed down. Like from the first day that we connected, which I think was probably like, like fairly early in your comeback. And like you just literally didn't slow down.
No, I don't think my life ever slows down if I'm being completely honest.
Oh my
But
gosh.
that is just where my business thrives is when I show up on social media, regardless if I'm put together or not. I am here and let's just go for it. And that's like what my clients follow. It's amazing.
Well, one of the things that I love about you and one of the reasons why you're so successful is because you definitely have that like no fear, like tenacious mentality. And I think a lot of times, creatives and photographers and entrepreneurs can get very stuck in like it has to be perfect and everything has to be just right and like the paralysis of analysis where I see a lot of myself in you with like, no, let's take some risks. Like let's let it all hang out.
Yes, that is absolutely 100% me. I post stuff and then it doesn't work. And I'm like, well, that didn't go as well as I had planned. But again, trial and test. You never are going to understand what works for you if you're not willing to just put it all out there because you can't learn from your mistakes if you don't make any.
Exactly. And like you've always been so fearless when it comes to like investing in your business. And tell us a little bit about that. Like starting from scratch, like you were building your business. It's not like your business was making a ton of money, but I feel like you've always invested. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh my gosh, yes. I 100% preach. If you want to grow a business, you need to invest in other businesses. That is just, you need to invest in yourself, is what it is. And so when I met you and we started doing Shine the Light, it was probably one of the best investments I ever did. Like, I truly watched my business grow so much just within those first couple of weeks between you teaching me how to set my planners, set my goals, and putting them into tangible pieces for me to understand versus me coming going, I want to make, $25,000 this year. And you're like, that's great, Kate. Okay, let's break that down to what that looks like and what we need to do. And I preach all the time about investing in education and investing in other photographers and learning and growing. So, any kind of investment you can put into someone else is truly the best thing you can do for your business.
Absolutely. And like you hands down have made back all your investments. Like I know you've done a lot of education with me, but also with Sharon and workshops. And like, wouldn't you say you've made all that money back and some?
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. Sharon was one of the first people that I invested in when we knew that I was going to start going full time eventually. I was still working part-time when I mentored with her. And that was one of the best things I did. I've also invested with other photographers in learning and growing. I'm a big Sue Bryce fan. I think everyone knows that about me now. And so I love learning lighting techniques and strobing and posing and all of that. I mean, it has come back in tenfold. It's incredible.
Well, and yet again, one of the things I love about you, and this, you were like this before I met you. I would love to take credit, but it's very important in my core values and in our Shine the Light core values that we always kind of, give credit to those who helped us. And like, none of us do this alone, but like, you've always been so willing to shout out other creatives and other entrepreneurs. And yes, I mentored with so and so. And like you just said, Sue Bryce, everyone knows this about you. Some people like, really like hang on to that information. Like they want the world to think they did it alone. And you've always been so willing to shine the light on other people. And then I think being in that community has just brought that out even more.
Oh, thanks, Liz. Yeah, I don't know, I love to love people. So I think that's part of it.
Yes. What is your Enneagram number again?
I'm a 7 through and
7.
through.
Okay. It's funny because we definitely have so many similarities, but I'm a 2. I'm a hardcore 2. Okay, so I know I got a little bit sidetracked and we're going to go back into the business stuff, but tell us like a little bit about some of the evolution of Kate Styles. So I know you have dabbled in weddings, like you've got some like really cool behind the scenes stuff going on with your wedding team. But I know boudoir and like high fashion and all that stuff is your passion. So tell us like why photograph women?
It's funny that everyone asks me that. I never like purposely like went into photography going, "Oh, I'm going to be a boudoir photographer." In fact, I really shied away from it because it's a very scary thing to dabble in. And after my first couple of sessions, I cannot even begin to tell you the photos are like the icing on the cake for when it comes to boudoir. I just fell in love with creating these experiences where I get to be a part of a woman's story and helping them see the value of themselves and their beauty that's already there. We as women are such powerhouses and we deserve to give ourselves a freaking break sometimes. We are so great at carrying around these like, we're not good at this, we can't do this. And when you come into a boudoir session, like the negativity just like drips off and you just like see yourself as this incredible, powerful woman that you're supposed to be. And I just fell in love with all of that. So that's mainly where I do most of my revenue from. I do shoot weddings. They're not like my cake. I only take 15 a year, which is great. I'm actually building a team this year to start sending them to shoot weddings for me because they're incredible, but they're also very high energy. And I have a statement for sure that I want to share. But at the end of the day, my heart truly just fuels off of the boudoir sessions.
Oh my gosh. And it totally shows in your images too. And something else that you've done that's really cool that you don't see a lot of people doing is like these self-portraits when you're teaching yourself. Like, what is it like to set the timer and take pictures of yourself?
Oh my gosh, how funny is that? I I actually just did it the other day and I was thinking if someone could record me in what I'm doing, they would think I was nuts.
Oh my
um
gosh.
I do it all the time. I love playing with strobe setups and lighting in the studio, and practice makes perfect. And so, who better to practice on than yourself? So, I will literally go in my studio and set up one strobe lighting and set up a couple different scenarios with that. And then I just invested in another strobe. And so, recently, this past 2 weeks, I've been working with 2 strobe lighting setups, and like my heart has just exploded with practicing with it. It's so much fun.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I want you to do me a favor. And next time you do a self-portrait session, I want you to set your phone up and do a time lapse. So you like see you running back and forth. I mean, I'm just envisioning you running back and forth because I know that's what I do when I set my timer.
I used to do that until I invested in a trigger.
A
And there's
remote,
actually a
yes.
remote. Yes, there's actually a remote that you can hold that you do have to put it on a 2-second timer. So I'll click it and then I'll take a picture in 2 seconds.
Oh
But
my
that's what I
gosh.
usually do.
That's funny. I do actually have one of those now. You're right.
It makes
I
life a
use
lot easier.
It does. I used it for like our big family picture that we do around Christmas sometimes, and I would let Gracie
Oh,
push the button. But yeah, it's so
amazing.
funny. Okay, well, I still want you to do a time lapse, and I
I
still want you
should.
to make it funny and entertaining. So,
Maybe I shouldn't, like, just leave my trigger alone so we really can make it just a comical thing.
oh my
Going
gosh.
back and forth.
Well, and I'm sure there's still a lot of setup, right? So you probably take a picture and then you don't like it, so you have to move something.
Oh, yeah. A lot
Yeah.
of that. A lot of that. And, like, my kids will be in it all of a sudden, then I have to get them out of the way or they're trying to grab things. It's a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh. So I'm seeing some time lapses in your future. I want to make that happen.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Because, like, speaking of that, one of the things we were going to dig into, and we might as well, because I'm sitting here begging you to add time lapses, is how good you are at showing up in Instagram stories and just how consistent, like you said, you show up whether you're ready, whether you're not. So I feel like you probably have a really good little tribe built up on there. Tell us about that.
I do. So I love posting on Instagram stories. And it's funny, I actually give my assistants my phone now to take videos of me behind the scenes. I literally just hand them my phone and I'm like, hey, take some behind the scene videos, boomerangs, whatever you want to do. It doesn't bother me. And they just take pictures like throughout the session for me. And it's awesome because not only do my clients really connect with it, but I'm also connecting to other photographer entrepreneurs who are looking to grow their business. And so a lot of times, like my DMs will get blown up from other photographers who are super eager to learn more about studio lights or reflectors. They're like, what are you using that looks so cool? Um, and so it's really cool to watch that because sometimes my clients don't necessarily like message me, but they'll come into my studio and be like, oh, yeah, I saw you post about that. So, regardless if I'm actually seeing it, my messages or not, my clients know who I am before they walk in the door. And they talk to me like they know me because they've probably been stalking me for a good time by the time they're actually in my studio. It's funny.
Right. I mean, it's crazy, but it really does build that connection. And I've had a lot of people ask me, like, do your like photography clients like think it's weird that you're constantly just talking about business and like all the other, things that I do? And I'm like, most of the clients that I draw in, like they love it. They'll say, like, I love what you do for the creative industry or the creative community. So, the way that we show up there is going to attract or repel like our ideal people.
Yeah, absolutely. The energy that you bring into it has everything to do with it. So even if you're talking about business, like I know I watch your stories all the time, you're just so passionate about it. So you're going to attract people that are just passionate about life.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to like be real and be us, right? Like we can't be perfect and curated like in Instagram stories like as easily as you can in the feed. Like in the feed it's like, "Oh, everybody's life is so perfect." But I feel like in stories it's like you got to come as you are for people to really like, bond with you and see exactly what your personality is like. You can't fake a conversation in real life.
No, no, not at all. And you are 100% right. Like the other day, I was posting on my Insta stories and I was waving around a peanut butter spoon in my hand that my son had just given me. Didn't even realize it till after I'd already posted them. And I was like, well, that's that. There you go.
That is so funny. There's been so many times like that where I'm like, "Oh, look at that in the background. That's great."
It's funny how that happens.
Oh my gosh, so great. Okay, so tell us, like, what are some things in the past 2 years? So wait, you've actually made all this progress in 2 years, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Like, what are a couple of things that have been absolute game changers for you?
So the major game changers that I would say that happened for me was absolutely I came to a class with you and it was 1,000% you teaching me how to sit down month to month. What am I focusing on? What do I want my goal revenue for that month to be? What do I want to market? What do I want to push? Where do I want to invest my money? And then breaking it down into weeks and then weekly to-do lists, that was one of the biggest game changers for me because I can sit here and say I want to make $50,000 and it goes, okay, so how are you going to do that? And you showing me how to do that was one of the biggest things for me.
Was this was the Ultimate Year workshop that you came to in Virginia Beach?
Yeah, I think it was just a little over a year ago now that we did that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that was the Ultimate Year workshop, which this year all my Shine Elite students got to come to. We did a virtual version, but you came to it last year. So while we're talking about that and you were setting your goals, you just found out when you like finished up all your books and stuff that you totally 2x your revenue in 2019.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. I remember sitting down, writing my list of what I wanted my goals to be, and one of my goals was the amount of money that I wanted to make. And I literally got to sit down, I want to say at the beginning of December, and was just shocked at the fact that I like doubled what my goal was. I mean, just mind blowing.
That's amazing. I love it. It's, it has me like thinking back to when I first started too. And in the beginning, yeah, I think year like two, I doubled from year one, and then year three, you double year two. It's like that is such like a fast track. Like you're doing so awesome. But it's funny to hear to hear that the workshop helped you so much, because like I look at myself, on a regular basis, and like I am not like organized. I am not a spreadsheet, numbers, calendar, color coded person at all. And when I teach workshops, like that's how I teach. I don't teach people how to have a perfectly color coded calendar, but it's very much like big picture, like what do you want to accomplish, and let's work backwards. So it's really nice to know that that actually worked.
I think that's one of the main reasons that I was so attracted to you was, yes, messy mom life, 100%. And you totally helped me start to categorize like my messy life and just putting it down on paper, how to get to where I wanted to be.
Oh my gosh. I think I had a story one time with like my messy bathroom, and I was talking about how my kids, like, we don't even have our own bathroom anymore. My kids take their shower in their bath in there. And you were like, we are soul sisters.
Yes, I remember that because, yeah, we never gave our kids a bath in their own bathrooms. We always gave them a bath in our master bathroom. I remember that.
I know. I'm like, gosh, like that's not how it's supposed to be, but it's so much easier.
Yes, yes.
I know. We're finally, Gracie's 6, and we're finally talking about moving her into her own bathroom.
Oh my gosh. Moving up in the world.
I know. I'm gonna have to like decorate it too or something. Oh my gosh.
Oh
Okay,
man.
so I'm totally honored that I'm one of your game changers. Do you have any other game changers? Any other tips for people listening?
So the second one that I had was switching over to IPS. I don't know if you want to dive into that a little bit or not.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the second game changer for me was absolutely switching over to IPS, which is in-person sales. And the main reason I actually decided to switch over to this was because I felt like I was missing that reconnect with my client after their session. I would see them for their session. We would have like this powerhouse session. I would go and edit them like 50 images, send them in a gallery, and send them over, and I would never see them face to face again. And I'm an extrovert and I love connecting with people. And sometimes I would get an email back, sometimes I wouldn't. And so that really got to me. So when I decided to switch over to IPS, I got to make that people connection again. And I got to watch my clients see these portraits of themselves and absolutely just be in tears over the fact that they got to see themselves how they have always wanted to see themselves. And to me, that was worth everything to me. And I went from making about $300 a session, like after payout, to about $1,200 a session. And that has been one of the biggest changeovers for me that I have noticed in my business that it was missing.
That is so awesome. And I just love that, like, this is again such a great example of like, you learned from Sharon, you learned from me. We're both shoot and share photographers, but then you totally created your own path and what works for you. And you sought education in that realm where you needed to. And it's like, you just are so good at like, this is what I want to try. This is what works. This is what doesn't. And I love the IPS model. I could never do it. I had one client like a couple years back that I think just assumed that I did it. And so she's like, okay, we're going to buy some prints. We're going to come by your office. So I'm like, okay, like I can do this. I had no idea what I was doing. And I'm like on the floor like 2 hours before she comes. And I'm trying to like put these pictures in frames because I thought that's what I had to do. My freaking fingers were like all raw. Then she didn't even like any of the frames. I was like, oh my gosh, never again. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh my gosh, it is definitely a whole new ball game, and I'm very grateful I learned the art from Sue Bryce. She definitely kind of helps break it down on how to do everything. And it was very scary going into it. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like I had knots in my stomach. I remember talking to you about it in our coaching, and I was like, and you were like, you got this, Kate, you can do it. And honestly, it was one of the best things I ever did, hands down.
Yes, like I think that was your first round of Shine Elite. Like you were making that big change. And I remember like you were like, I'm scared, like I'm gonna lose clients. And I'm like, you gotta trust the process. I'm not an IPS expert. I don't know what this process is, but you gotta trust it.
Yes. And honestly, having that support was the best thing that I could have used. And of course, it was a learning curve, and I'm just now getting in the routine and I'm feeling comfortable with everything. But seeing my clients just love themselves, I mean, that was worth everything to me.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And it really is like a different experience and it makes so much sense in the beauty industry too. Like it just most of the, like boudoir photographers that really that's their main source of income do the in-person sales. It's like part of the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Oh my gosh. And then talking about the support. So I was just in one of my Facebook groups and they said, what's your one like business thing that you use every single week that completely, changes it for you? And I was like trying to think, like, is it 17 hats? Is it this? And I'm like, no, it's hands down my community. Like being able to tell someone that we have these ideas or that we want to do this scary thing and having someone there to be like you can or the just that the other powerful female that freaking understands. There's nothing that is a better business tool than that.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally and completely agree. Having cheerleaders in your corner and being a cheerleader for somebody else is so empowering for, I mean, your business, but yourself in general.
Yes, absolutely. Like whenever I'm having a bad day, I'm like, I just got to get in my group and I got to like encourage some people and, see like the business things happening and seeing the light bulbs go off for people. Like it just gives me so much life. But it really like just having the women that I talk to on a regular basis, like that is my biggest business tool.
I know, and you're
Love
the
it.
bomb at it for sure.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're like such a star student. I was like, Kate is just my shining little star, 2xing her revenue, like building community, doing all the things. I love it.
Oh, thanks. It's been amazing. Trust me, it is crazy. I even like blow myself out of the water right now. I'm not going to lie.
Well, that's the most fun part, right? When you just like see the shifts and the breakthroughs and all the things happening like right before your eyes. Like it's the coolest part.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, it's just, I have to say, again, we're going back to that investment thing. Investing in people who, I mean, want to help your business grow is the best thing you can do because ultimately you're just investing in yourself.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years. Like, look at how far you've come in 2 years. Like, that's incredible. And I guarantee you, there's no photographers out there that are just relying on YouTube videos and freebies that have made the kind of progress that you have. Like, it's just impossible.
Oh my gosh, no. And I mean, I just signed up for another workshop to learn more about strobe lighting and constant strobe lighting. And so I'll be actually going up to Boston, Massachusetts at the end of March for a weekend to do a workshop with her name is Rosa, and she is hosting a lighting workshop that I'm very excited about. And it's funny, when she sent me the invoice, I thought to myself, if I had gotten this invoice 2 years ago and had to pay it in full in a week, I would have been like cringing in knots. And it was like nothing for me to go, okay, here you go. And
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
so excited to go.
I'm so proud of you. That is just like abundance at its best. Cause they say like when you start to enjoy like putting money out, like you just bring more money in. And it's like, it's just, you got to hit this stride. And like, it's like you're unstoppable once you hit that stride.
Yes, absolutely. That's 100% right. Like, I was so excited to pay that invoice in full. Like, yes, I am ready. Let's do this.
Yes, it feels so good. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you.
Ah,
Um,
thanks.
so tell us like what is next? Tell us some of your like big dreams or your visions for 2020. Like give us some of the scoop.
Okay, so 2020 kind of has a lot going on for me right now. So obviously I'm a big Sue Bryce fan. I'm finishing up my new studio right now. So I was shooting out of like the second bedroom in my home, and I just told my husband, I was like, I need more space. This is not working. So we actually transformed my garage because the ceilings are higher. And since I'm a strobe shooter, I can actually raise my lights high enough to go over top of their heads and just give a gorgeous highlight on their head. And I will actually be pushing mommy and me portraits for Mother's Day. So that'll be coming out shortly. And then I'm also pushing a campaign for 30 and Thriving, which will be for women in their 30s right now, who the reason I started to do this is because women in their 30s kind of wear all of the hats. Like, we are usually growing a family, regardless if it's with kids or pets, or your significant other. We usually have a career under our belt at this point. Regardless if it's the career that you chose or not, we still need professional portraits for work. But we're still kind of lingering in this I'm still young, like 25 feeling. I want to have these gorgeous ball gown dresses or floor length dresses. And we don't have an excuse to wear them. And so, what I'll actually be doing is bringing women in their 30s to literally get all of these portrait sessions in one session and be able to come back and pick their images, and they'll have corporate headshots, family shots, and that gorgeous glamour shot that we're missing. And the main reason why I actually decided to do this is because I actually found a portrait of my grandmother in her 30s from this gorgeous glamour shot she had. And I was like, Grandma, like, this is so gorgeous. And she's like, yeah, I just, I needed one for work. And she just looked so gorgeous. And it's that kind of picture you keep in your house forever. I mean, I'll give it to my kids. And I thought, we need to do this for us. Like, why are we not doing this for us? So now this summer, I'll be pushing my 30 and Thriving, and I'm very excited about it.
Oh my gosh, please tell me that you either already have shared or you're going to share the picture of your grandma in the promo.
I am absolutely going to be sharing the picture of her. In fact, I am actually going to try and put together a video promo, and I'm hoping to have it in my hands for a couple of the shots so everyone can see it. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, what a good way to like entangle that into your why.
Yeah, it gives everybody a personal, everyone needs a pull at the heart somewhere, and pulling grandmas into it always is a good heartstring.
Well, but because you're so big on prints, like, man, the old photos I have of like my mom's dad, who I never got to meet, who was like incredibly handsome, and like I can see our genes in him. And my grandmother, when she was young, like she was some type of like May princess or something. And like, to have actual black and white hard copies of those images is completely priceless. And think about like our digital age, when we're not getting prints, like our kids aren't going to have that if we don't have something tangible.
Right. That's a big thing that I try and educate my clients on, is that, okay, so when your grandkids are looking for pictures of you, they're going to have to go in their attic and look for a hard drive of you that they might not even be able to plug into their computers at that point because they've grown so much. Like, we need to still keep investing in prints because digitals are great. And I've recognized the reason we want digitals is because we're a now generation. We think we want things now. And so that's why digitals have become so popular, is because you can get them almost instantaneously versus having to wait for a print. And so I really try and educate my clients when they come in. Prints last so long if we take care of them. And they're just these gems in our household that we take for granted sometimes.
Yeah, and I worry that like with the digital stuff, like we're all just going to be so busy, right? Like Gracie's going to be grown, and then she's going to have kids, and like who's going to go searching for, the digital stuff? Like, you got to sit at your computer and you got to sift through all these images. And but when there's something that's framed and on the wall, and then they stumble across it in someone's attic, like there's just something about that experience.
Yeah, I totally and completely agree with you on that one. Just taking those few extra minutes. I mean, I want to say my IPS sessions take about an hour to an hour and a half. And just taking that extra time to choose which pictures you want printed is going to save you all that extra time later on looking for that thumbnail or that hard drive to then put into the computer that hopefully works and find the images that you want.
Yeah, it's like I haven't even really thought about what that's going to look like, 30 years from now. That's crazy.
Yeah, I completely agree. Because if you think about it, 30 years ago, oh my gosh, like we were still using like CDs, if we were even using CDs.
No, yeah, I don't even think CDs existed 30 years ago. Like,
No, I think we were on 8-tracks 30 years ago because I'm almost 30.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, what was it before CDs? The little floppy disk thingamahoos? I don't even know. Oh
Oh my
my
God.
gosh. When I first started my photography business, I was using CDs. Isn't that crazy?
I
Oh my
was
gosh.
too. And like now that's like not even a thing anymore. It's so funny to think
No.
about.
Oh my gosh. So that is really exciting. Okay, so those are your big projects for 2020 as of right now.
Yes, and then, at least for me, and then I'm also growing my, an associate's program for my weddings.
Yes, that's awesome. Oh my goodness. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to share? Let people know where they can find you, your Instagram handle and your website.
Yes, come find me. I'm Kate Styles. On Instagram, it's Kate with 2 E's and then period Styles with 2 S's on the end. Come follow me. Tell me that you listen to this podcast. I will absolutely follow you back. I love encouraging other people. I love watching entrepreneurs grow. Like, let me know how I can support you because I 100% want to do that. You can
Yes,
follow me on Facebook. Add me as a friend on Facebook. So, and just shoot me a message. Tell me this is how you found me. Let's hang out.
totally. And Facebook is just regular Kate Styles, right?
Yes, just regular Kate Styles.
Okay. And then your website.
Yes, it's katestylesphotography.com.
Okay. And then that will connect to all your social channels too, right?
Yep, I have all the social links on there.
Okay. And of course, I will put all the stuff in the show notes or wherever I decide to put them up. There's always notes in iTunes. So if you guys are listening on iTunes, you can always find little clippets there too, and I'll put her social handles there too. But oh my gosh, Kate, thank you so much. I'm so excited just to have you on here and share you with everyone. Your growth has been incredible. You're such like a star student. I love seeing you just do all these amazing things.
Girl, stop. You are incredible. I am so excited I got to be here. Thank you for having me. Oh my gosh, this has been such a treat.
Yay, isn't Kate the best? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that we were able to have her here with us today. If you guys are just joining the Messy Success podcast for the first time, I would love for you to come pay me a visit at elizabethhenson.co and shoot me an email. Let me know that you found the podcast. Give me all your thoughts. And if you guys are interested in any of the coaching programs that Kate participated in, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM. I will get you hooked up with all the information that you need. Like I said, she did photography mentoring. She's in my online membership, Shine a Light Society, and she's also in my elite coaching program, Shine Elite, which will be starting again very soon. So if you would love information on that, I would absolutely love to hear from you and get you in contact with all of that. But thank you guys for being here today. I really enjoyed sharing Kate with you. She just does such a good job of just being all in her business, putting fear to the side, just sharing her journey. I'm so proud and honored to know her. So I will see you guys next week for another episode. In the meantime, go show Kate some love. Visit her on Instagram, visit her website, let her know that you found her on the Messy Success podcast. And I will see you guys very soon. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here.